Stormy Daniels on Zoom. Welcome back to the show. Hi, Stormy.
Hi, how are
you going?
Hi, guys. How are you?
Yeah, we are well.
We
are
are
great.
good. God.
Oh, a lot of shit going on,
must
right?
be crazy in your world right now.
Oh, yeah. That's an understatement.
Oh, my God.
Now, we've had you on the show before, and you were very sweet in explaining a few bits and pieces, the spanking and all that sort of stuff that went on, which we enjoyed hearing about. But I asked some of the staff here this morning, and I know because I live half the year in America, so I know all my American friends know every inch, every detail. They've done a pubic hair count. They know everything about the encounter. But here in Australia, we know, she's the one that said the president's dick looked like a mushroom, and that's about as far as their knowledge went. So, Stormy,
Right.
just for a reset for the Australian market. You met Trump at some golf tournament, and you didn't know who he was. It was just some old creepy billionaire. You didn't know.
Oh, no, I knew who he was.
Oh.
I knew him from his reality television show and from cameos he'd made in movies like Home Alone.
Right. Okay. So how did you go from meeting him on the golf course to getting your gear off up in the hotel room? How did that transpire?
Let's see. So I met him on the golf course, and then he came by the gift room that the celebrities came through to take photographs and get their swag bags.
Yeah.
And we got a photo together, and he asked me to dinner. Actually, he didn't ask me to dinner. He had his bodyguard ask me to dinner, and I politely declined. And then they kept asking.
How embarrassing. So he kept sending the guy back, go back and ask again, go back. And you finally, did you finally admit to him? You went to dinner eventually, right?
Well, no, I never got dinner. So I was supposed to go to a different dinner that I wanted to get out of going. So I decided to accept his offer. So he invited me to meet him at his hotel.
Yeah.
And then we were going to go down to one of the restaurants in the hotel. And I got to his room, and I was a little bit early, and he wasn't ready yet. And so we started talking, and we never actually made it to dinner.
What do you mean he wasn't ready yet? What was he wearing? Was he in undies and a robe or half dressed?
He was in pajamas. He was in pajamas. Satin, like silky pajamas. And I made fun of him and told him that he looked like Hugh Hefner.
Yeah, he would have liked that, right? He would have thought that was sexy talk.
I don't know. I was pretty mean. So he went and changed and came back out, and we started talking. And it wasn't until very recently that I realized one of these big misconceptions why people are just refusing to believe that I was invited to dinner or that I did not go there for sex. Is, well, why did you go to a guy's hotel room? Why were you should have known that's what it was about. You're lying. I realized that when most people think of hotel room, they think of a room that you walk in and there's a bed and 2 nightstands and like your average hotel room.
Yeah, standard room. But he wouldn't be in a standard room, but at least be in a mega suite, right?
It was the size of a really big apartment. It had a formal dining area, a living room, a kitchen, a big foyer.
Yeah.
So we went in, we sat at the table and started talking. And that's when, we had a very interesting conversation for a few hours. And that's where that's where the spanking thing came about, which was not sexual at all. And when he started
really?
Yeah, and as much as it pains me to say that the conversation was actually intelligent and I was having a good time, it's true. Like he was asking me business questions about the adult.
So he wasn't being a predator. It was an enjoyable, intellectual conversation. You were tantalized by the conversation.
Yeah, it was. Like I said, he asked about royalties and the adult business.
Oh, that's right, because you were the porn actress. That's well known, right?
Right. And he asked about, do we have a union? Do we have health care? Asked about, the things that go into producing and directing an adult film.
Did he ask how much would it be for you to do sexual things to him? Did he actually?
Absolutely.
He did. He did
No.
not. He did not. Okay, right. Well, that's a
absolutely
gentleman.
not. He did not imply. He didn't insinuate. He didn't ask. He didn't flirt.
So how
really?
did you end up bumping uglies? What happened?
That's the big thing that people are like, oh, you had to have known. No, it was a conversation about business. He was talking about, some things on his golf course and environmentalists giving him a hard time. And at no point in this entire conversation was sex mentioned at all, other than specifics on camera, like how we did things in the business.
And so how'd you see his dick then? How'd you see that?
Exactly. That's what is so strange about this. during that conversation, he said that he thought I would be a great contestant on Celebrity Apprentice and it would shake things up. And a lot of people didn't believe that until I did the Piers Morgan interview a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah,
when Piers said, well, he revealed that he did know that I was supposed to be on the show because Trump had messaged him and told him. So he sort of validated that. Yeah. Anyway, a couple hours go by and I have to use the ladies' room. So he goes, go into the big bathroom. It's nicer, So I went in there to use the restroom. And when I came out, he had taken off most of his clothes and was on the bed. And that's why it was so surprising. I was stunned because...
What were you wearing? Were you clothed and he came out?
Yeah, she was clothed, obviously. She wasn't expecting him to be naked.
He's laying on the bed like some sort of buffet breakfast at a Sheraton or something? Was he presenting himself?
That's really disturbing. I'm never having a buffet breakfast again. There was a lot of orange, so I guess it was like a breakfast buffet. Doing his best Burt Reynolds impression.
And did you think, this guy, I'm going to have sex with this guy?
No, I said, F me. How did I miss these signs? How did I get into this situation? And I just thought to myself, something that a previous publicist manager used to tell me, if you put yourself in a bad situation, bad things happen. And I felt so stupid and ashamed because I just kept thinking all the things he said to me in the last few hours were bullshit. He doesn't think I'm smart. He doesn't think that I'm a businesswoman. He wasn't interested.
Well, hang on. Just because he wanted to have sex with you doesn't mean he didn't think you were smart.
It's quite presumptuous to just suddenly disrobe and lie on the bed. There's no, you say, there was...
You have to give him credit for his confidence, though.
Yeah,
but so what part of you were you okay, I'm keen for this to happen too, or were you not?
At no part. No part. So I sort of laughed.
So you didn't have sex with him at all?
No, I did. So I sort of laughed and I tried to step around him and he stood up and...
He stood up, nude? How did this...
he was in
He was what?
He was in a T-shirt and boxers.
Oh, okay. So when did he whack the wang out, and then what did you do with it?
So he said, I thought you really wanted to be a director. Yeah, I thought you would do whatever it takes. And then I kind of just said, I actually didn't say no and I didn't say yes. I just sort of froze. And he, led me towards the bed and then progressed with the worst 90 seconds of my life.
Oh,
is that all?
So he didn't go down on you or anything? There was no gobbling, no mutual gobbling?
God, really?
He just stuck it in there and just started going to town?
Yeah. Luckily, it didn't. It wasn't very big, so it wasn't particularly...
Right.
Listen, I'm no fan of...
And then was it
I'm no fan of humiliating men. Although we've got Pedro that works here. Pedro's got the smallest... Pedro, send Stormy a picture of your... No, probably you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that unannounced.
Hi, Stormy.
Stormy, Pedro here, is a South American guy, got the penis the size of a child's finger.
How do you know?
I've admitted it. Yes, it's very small.
He's admitted it.
Good question.
Good on him, though, right? Now, so when the hush money was paid, so you never got paid for the sex. You're not a prostitute.
That's not what it was about. And here's the other thing: if I had been paid for the sex, if it was a business arrangement, if I was an escort and I was there to do a job, I would have never said anything. I was not paid for sex. I was not offered money for sex.
But what about the hush money? The hush money, you
That was
realise...
over 10 years ago.
But hush money, you know what that means. You get paid to hush.
Which I did for 2 years.
So the hush only lasted for 2 years.
No, so part of the NDA, the paperwork, which you can find online anywhere, the details of that contract specifically says, neither party can contact each other, have a representative contact each other, contact each other's families, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
So a couple years went by and, it got leaked again. I didn't say anything. Then Michael Cohen, Trump's attorney, was shopping a book. I think it might have been called The Fixer or something like that. And so he sent this treatment to several publishing companies to try to shop his book, to get his book deal done.
And was your secret in that book somehow?
Yes!
Well, how ridiculous is this? Guy's a lawyer. He shouldn't be putting all those things in there.
And so then everybody started hitting me up again, and I still ignored it. I didn't say anything. obviously everybody I knew that it had happened. Remember that in 2006, Trump used to call me a couple of times a week, and I would put him on speakerphone in front of 20 or 30 people while I was on set. That's why, Seth Rogen went on the Ellen show and said, oh, yeah, we talked about that on set. Everybody knew.
Yeah, that's true.
So I still wasn't saying anything, right?
Yeah.
Well, then Michael Cohen sent an email to, the person who was representing me at the time and wanted me to sign it. Well, that's the second violation on their end. They violated the first time by shopping a book. Then Michael Cohen reached out and asked me to sign a false statement.
And you're not allowed to have a representative contact either way. It was okay,
exactly.
So when did you get paid the hush? When did you say pay up and I'll keep my mouth shut? Because he was.
I never said that. They approached me.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's blackmail. I didn't approach them. They approached me.
Oh, one man's blackmail is another man's. Let's just sort some shit out here. You know what I'm saying? I can see both sides. Do you think you should pay the hush money back since you weren't?
I offered and they said no.
Oh,
you offered?
Wow.
Wow, I didn't know that either.
Look it up. That was years and years ago.
Yeah, well, I can't spend all day looking up Stormy Daniels stuff. Trump was at another rally talking about Stormy the other day.
Was investigating me for something that is not a crime, not a misdemeanor, not an affair. I never liked Horseface. It's just not. That's a terrible thing.
What?
That wouldn't be the one. There is no one. We have a great first lady.
Why does he have to do that, How do you feel when he calls you that, Stormy?
I just laugh because he's basically admitting to the world that he likes bestiality because my phone records showed that he called me repeatedly for almost a year.
Horseface. Do you have a nickname for him?
Tiny.
Tiny. There you go. Tiny Trump.
What are you laughing at?
Sorry, that's funny.
Oh, who's that?
No one wants to be Tiny Trump.
Refers to what?
It refers to his IQ. I don't know what you're thinking.
Hey, did Donald Trump's wife ever reach out either directly or through a third party to find out what the deal was?
No.
Did you ever think of writing Melania a letter?
No, she knows how to find me. Maybe she'll ask me to testify at her divorce hearings.
Do you think they'll get divorced?
Oh, I think so.
Oh, really? Yeah, I hear two sides to that where she's just going to stand by him and others say no, she's just waiting.
No. Well, I'm not going to presume to speak for another woman or to know what she's thinking, but she hasn't said anything, and silence sometimes speaks more than words, and she was not with him at his arraignments or during his last speech.
Did you ever vote for Trump?
No.
Never. You voted for Biden.
No, I didn't. I'm registered Republican, so I just didn't vote. I couldn't bring myself to do it.
Oh, okay, right.
Even though you've spanked him and seen him laying there all sexy like on the bed, you never thought,
that's a good reason not to vote for him.
And what's it been like in terms of you personally? Do you get, because, Trump has these very, very passionate supporters. Do you bother reading what people say online? Do you get kind of direct messages that are threatening? I can't imagine what it's like to be you in this situation.
So I don't know if either one of you has seen my Twitter feed, but it is pretty intense and horrific. And those don't bother me. Those are just, keyboard warriors, people hiding. And I always make the joke that Twitter is my favorite sport. I just destroy them. But I will tell you that it is nonstop. And it is Twitter, it is Instagram, it is my phone number. So it's text messages, emails, direct messages, tweets. Constantly.
Are some of them, are they scary threats or are they just people mouthing off?
Both. And so the first time around, the last time I was on your show, it was probably the same number of messages and things that I was getting. Yeah. But they were just, like, shut up, whore, or liar, or gold digger. They were just calling me names and I laughed at them, whatever.
You don't you don't get on the Twitter and say, hey, I offered to pay the money back and,
Oh, I do. I fight with them all the time. But my point is that it used to be like, slut, whore, and I'm like, that's award-winning slut. Thank you very much. Yeah, well, but now it's literally threatening. It's I'm gonna kill your family. I'm gonna murder you. If I ever see you, I'm going to put a bullet in you. I hope you die. Other people that are close to me are now getting messages. And it's really scary that we had somebody in power that could incite people, because now they're not afraid. They used to sort of hide behind fake screen names or, blocked numbers. But he has encouraged violence and incited his followers to riot and call if he got arrested to. Do you
have a boyfriend now? Like, do you find it hard to date now because, people?
I'm married.
Are you married?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. And what's your husband think about all this?
He thinks it's crazy, but it doesn't bother him. He's known me for 25 years, and he's also a porn star. So.
I bet your husband. Did your husband ask you all the intimate details about? Did you do this and what did it taste like?
Well, it lasted 90 seconds. There was not much happening.
I'm assuming that's a little bit of a diss. The 90 seconds.
I don't think it is. I think she's telling the truth.
It's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Has your husband asked, when your partner, you're laying in bed and you're talking about what you've done with other people or whatever, did he go into, you would have gone into detail with the husband, right?
Well, you know what? He's heard me tell it so many times. He's listening. He's one wall away right now. He's in the other room. So he's never had to ask me. He's heard it, and read the book and whatnot.
And are you still porn starring? Are you still having sex on camera, or is that you finished with you're directing now?
I'm doing both. I just wrapped a big movie for Adam and Eve that I was the writer, director, and the star of, and my husband was the director of photography. He's a cameraman as well.
Because intern Pete said he went on your OnlyFans and you've got all your clothes on there, and I thought maybe you don't know what OnlyFans is.
Morning, Stormy.
That's Peter. Is that right, Peter? They're only just
yeah,
not
it's
normal
very
photos?
G-rated, so yeah.
You need to apparently.
No, it's all hardcore. He probably the free one.
Pete,
you got if you're going to underscore under your name, it has an underscore, I thought it was fake.
He's gone on the free one. Peter, pay. You got to pay.
Yeah.
Okay, will do. Thank you.
Stormy, what did you think when you watched? Did you watch the TV arrest happen? What were you thinking watching that?
You know what? That's a really good question, actually. So we had no choice but to watch it. It was everywhere.
Yeah.
And I thought that it would feel a certain way, and it didn't. I thought that it would feel sort of climactic. It would sort of feel like everything came to an ending, a conclusion. I thought I would feel relief or happiness, and I didn't. It kind of felt anticlimactic. It was like if you put the fresh sheets on the bed and you get a wax and you put on the fancy lingerie and you've had sex for hours and you don't orgasm. It just kind of felt like nothing. It was.
Well, that's never happened to me. I've never not orgasmed.
Really?
Yeah. Men, we always finish. Have you noticed? It's just one of those things we do better than you guys do.
You're just doubting yourself this morning. But yeah, so
you didn't feel vindicated in any way watching the Trump thing?
It didn't change anything.
Did you regret it? Is there any time you've thought, shit, I've gone too far. I regret getting involved in all of this?
No. Because I was telling the truth and I was pushed into it.
Yeah.
I regret going to his room that night, but I don't regret speaking out. I do not regret standing up for myself. I do not regret refusing to be bullied. I don't regret any of that. But going back to the other question, more importantly than getting Trump arrested or held accountable for the things he did, proven that I was not lying. To me, it was just really sad that we had an American president.
But haven't all your presidents had a little fiddle here? And then there was the Clinton with the cigar thing with that big girl, and everyone's had a little.
He wasn't arrested.
Yeah.
He wasn't indicted.
No,
federal charges.
No, that's
so
right.
Can you look at it objectively, and in any way do you think it is a little bit of a witch hunt?
I don't know. All I can speak about is the specific things that happened to me. Keep in mind, there's over 35 charges on that indictment. Most of them have nothing to do with me. I'm just the most exciting one that people want to talk about.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, when there's a porn star involved and a president, come on.
Yeah.
Doesn't get much better fodder than that, I feel.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. So it's all clickbait. I mean, you said yourself that all you knew was like little snippets about things. Yeah.
Would you, is there any world possible in the future where you and Donald could get together and have a laugh and have sex again?
No.
That sounds definite. He says no. I say never say never. You never know.
So do I. And I describe to that rule, except for now. Now I'm going to say
that
never
rule.
say never.
She'll
never
do
reply
that
to
rule
Trump.
every time except for Trump.
Yes,
Listen,
understandable.
from where we sit over here, what a mess politically America is. You're the cause. However, it's not your fault.
No.
You were caught up in this, and you've done the right thing for yourself, which I think is important. But
And for women and other people. You have to remember that there's other women that have spoken out against him.
Yeah.
He's going on trial for rape for E. Jean Carroll. Remember the 13-year-old girl that he made go away? There's so many other women.
No, we don't know. We don't know anything about that. In all honesty, we haven't heard about that.
Yeah, there's so many other women that have come forward that were intimidated or didn't have the funds to continue to fight, or they were intimidated.
Did he have orange pubes or not?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of it, like like no trimming.
Well,
just
you're very
like,
interested. I mean, I can only refer to what they looked like a long time ago. Who knows what it's now? I don't even want to think about it.
I don't blame you.
I'm thinking about it now, and I feel it's very
How am I
hairy.
looking at your face?
It's very
Not a pretty
hairy.
picture. No.
Stormy, good luck in whatever future lies ahead for you in the directing,
Yeah.
the marriage. I didn't know you were married. Congratulations to your husband. I hope you don't come to any problem with all these fanatical fans of Trump's, because that would be a disaster. But I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, thanks so much,
Brooklyn, did you
Stormy.
have any gay questions to ask?
No, I just think it's
He's our
great
gay
hearing
Democrat.
from you, Stormy.
We keep him in the newsroom, but he's very, very pro all things Democrat.
He's not a huge Trump fan either.
No, well, I wouldn't. I'd even go as far to say as he detests
Yeah.
Trump.
Yeah, he sounds pretty gross
Yeah,
from Stormy's perspective.
To me, he just sounds like an old school piper.
No, I'm no fan. Not of that.
Well, Stormy, thank you. I appreciate your time.
Thanks, Stormy.
And anything else
guys.
happens, let us know. Immediately, ring us up. 'Cause I love this shit.
It'll be my first call.
Thank you. Stormy Daniels. There she is. Wow. Well, she seems like a nice bird.
Yeah. See, there's so much you didn't know, right? She wasn't the one to speak up first.
Oh, I never asked if she was shaved or anything. Like when Trump saw her vagina.
Not important,
was it
really, but
shaved?
anyway.
Oh, you're still there, Stormy?
I'm still listening to you.
Shaved or not shaved?
Okay.
Landing strip.
Oh, the old Jackie O's vaginal trick.
Oh,
Do you have the landing strip,
I
Jackie?
don't.
What
no.
have you got?
Is that back? Is it, Stormy? Because you're in that profession, like you know what's happening now. Is the landing strip where it's at?
No, I prefer to. Mine's like a throwback, a classic, if you will. So when I got in, it was all about the landing strip, which I'm a big fan of because it helps guide your partner in the dark. Some husbands are
Yeah, you just follow the prickles, I suppose, all the way down to the.
and then it was like completely shaven for the longest time. That was the big thing, is bald, and I did not like that.
You didn't like it.
No, I hated it. I never did it. Freaked me out.
Well, just so
But now
you
that-
know, Australian men, we love it bald.
I don't like it. It looks like a little kid to me. And I like.
Now you've thrown it. Now you've. I'll never be able to look at a snatch again without thinking that.
There you go. You're welcome.
You haven't just
That's what I
ruined
do. I
Trump's
ruin
life.
it.
You've ruined my life as well now.